Sonic 3 bonus video.
Unlike the Sonic 2 bonus video, this is not an unfulfilled obligation. I never actually
Mad Mike isn't a real final FF fan. Ahmed's Book of Terrible Takes. True. Ahmed's gonna be in here soon, giving the terrible takes soon, I bet. I don't want to watch the bosses, I want to play the game.
A really cool Sonic 3 beta was dumped and uploaded online.
What games did you play when you were young? This one here specifically, Sonic 3. I played it a lot.
There are a ton of videos out there going.
What do you guys prefer, closed captioning on or off?
Such a fun and cool game in the first
for the videos? I don't know.
Specific elements like Michael Jackson's involvement in the creation of the game's music. Sonic 3 being one of the most widely talked about video games is actually a good thing from my perspective, because now I can focus on really diving into the minutia of the game and talking about details nobody cares about except me. That said, there is one little issue.
I'm gonna put Sonic the Hedgehog in the game title. There we go. I prefer muffins. I played Sonic and Mario and all kinds of old Nintendo and Genesis games. YouTube life is great today, ICS. Thank you for asking. Hopefully you're doing well. It's school.
Exactly 9 minutes and 59 seconds. Although I'm happy to inform you, this stupid-ass feature actually made its way into Mania.
Let me get the stream up on my laptop.
Sonic 3 complete video, I suppose it's time we talk about the elephant in the room. The new best way to play Sonic 3. Sonic 3 Angel Island Revisited.
Okay.
Now I stand by
yeah, Sonic 3 Air. This was a great mod, by the way. The best way to play Sonic 3 even today, still.
But as I stated in that video, if there ever were to be a
muffins versus donuts? Donuts for sure. You can dress up a donut all kinds of ways. Most of my time I go in the Roblox. That's alright though. Roblox is hey, Lad and Chad. Chad's in the chat. Alright, thanks to Cybershell for providing this video though. You are wrong, sir. Hold on, my...
Seriously, Sonic 3 Air is awesome. Here's the obligatory
Hold on, guys. I gotta answer a text.
Hearing some dipshit YouTuber regurgitate information directly in your ear holes. You know what else is fun? Doing your own research into your favorite games. I couldn't have made this video without the Cutting Room Floor, Sonic Retro, Hidden Palace, and the Sonic 3 Unlocked blog. If you enjoy this video, I'd strongly recommend poking around those sites and seeing what else you can discover about this game, as well as gaining a better technical understanding behind some of the shit I'm about to discuss. As is tradition, let's begin with the level select and debug mode. Unlike the previous two games and Sonic 3 alone, you don't have to input a button combination on the title screen or enter a code into the sound test. You literally have to go into Angel Island Zone and find one of these swinging objects and grab onto it. Then while you're holding it, press left, 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 right, 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 up, 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 and you'll hear a ring chime. Now on the title screen you can scroll down to the sound test option, which is actually also the level select option. For debug mode it's a similar story. Go into Mushroom Hill Zone and find one of these weird metal pulleys, then input the same code as before. Debug is very similar to how it was in the previous two games, although now there's a dedicated button to flipping the gravity like in Death Egg Zone, which is kinda neat, although most ceilings really aren't meant to be walked on. There's also some less well-known features of debug mode, like if you hold B and C, it'll cycle through all the animation frames of the current character, which looks pretty funny. In Sonic 2 or 3 alone, after enabling debug mode, hold C while selecting a level. This activates what fans have called night mode, where everything except certain objects are much darker. This was actually a feature used by the devs for checking information about certain layers and planes. They removed this feature in Sonic 3 and Knuckles because I guess they just figured it's not particularly useful as a cheat code. There are two very interesting objects only in Sonic 3 Alone's debug that can be found in the first part of Angel Island. The first is this strange surfboard-looking animation. It's actually the remnants of a cut intro that was going to be used instead of the one with the tornado. Here's a restored version of basically how it was supposed to look. The second very peculiar object you can place is this large rotating mess of red orbs. This causes the game to lag and corrupts the color palette. There was a lot of speculation about the purpose of this object, but we'll actually come back to talk about it later. Before we dive into that juicy beta, let's take a look at some of the cut content from the final game. I don't know how I forgot to mention this in the previous bonus videos, but in both Sonic 1 and Sonic 2 you can find an unused black and white death sprite for Sonic. I have no idea what this would have been used for, but there's a similar unused sprite in Sonic 3, and there's even one for Knuckles in Sonic and Knuckles. What were these supposed to be used for? I have no idea. Go write a creepypasta about it or something. Here's an interesting little unused sprite. It's a shadow that gets bigger and smaller. This was actually originally going to be used under the tornado in the opening sequence.
I'm back, guys. I'm back. Thanks for holding down Cybershell. Hey Disco, how are you doing? Thanks for joining. I'm making new video intros. One is way better since it has the same music. It will be released tonight UK time. Cool. Crazy Dave gets sold by a bungee, but when you beat the boss, he's back. I guess the boss had Crazy Dave. Yeah, I think once the last boss gets owned, Dave's okay. Bless up.
You can actually see part of an S-ball in the back of the gumball machine, but it's not glowing. Presumably the S-ball is something to do with Supersonic.
But this is all about Sonic 3.
There's an unused Supersonic face icon.
That's a weird icon there.
Did you know the Supersonic animation in the final game is actually missing a frame? It's meant to be a bit smoother. Here's a comparison so you can see what I'm talking about. This isn't exactly unused.
What's up, Ahmed? I told you I had request.
Similarly,
you've summoned him. You summoned Ahmed.
Palm tree shadow, which is totally obscured by the foreground elements in the final game.
Okay.
The multiplayer level Azure Lake also has a flower garden, which can't be seen in the final game since the level
Dave is never okay. Have you seen his face? He has like 3 brain cells. What the heck? Hey, he's never okay.
There's actually a very interesting unused
Dave's struggling out here. Summoned Snake? Huh?
It's actually a fully functioning scaling fleeing Eggman.
I kind of just want to listen to Metal Gear Solid codec calls, basically.
Thing in Sky Sanctuary that I already made the whole video.
That's what I'd like to do.
It kind of goes without saying, but this isn't a complete list of every single little glitch and Easter egg. Just a lot of them that I happen to find interesting. Like, did you ever notice that the levels for the competition mode follow an alphabetical naming scheme? Maybe you did, but as someone who barely ever touched this mode, I thought that was kind of neat.
What's up, everybody in chat, by the way? Thanks for hanging out.
The colors of the special stages in Sonic 3
non-stop streaming hour.
Schemes of the levels in that game. As you can see, the ground and sky colors match up to the corresponding zones. That is
so mid the stupid hedge mid. What? What?
Pattern, except it actually does. It seems to line up with the flying.
What you talking about, Ahmed?
Funny enough. Even more proof that this was the original intended level order. So in Hydra City Zone, there are these weird little decorative black balls which usually move side to side. But right before the Act 1
they're
boss,
frozen.
You find these guys which are totally static and don't animate at all. What's up with that?
It's weird.
Want to see something weird?
Yeah, I do.
One very easy to skip part of Hydra City Zone, you can find a special monitor. Unlike every other ring monitor in the game, this one actually gives you 20 rings instead of 10. Why? Is this the son of Failure Crush? No, it just seems like they
Raiden. No, wait a minute, Henry. I'm just walking. I just walked into that one. Oh no, I just walked into that. Hello, why do I see Sonic 3? Hey, Jaru, how are you doing? We're just watching Sonic 3 vids right now. We're reacting. Just hanging out. It's pretty comfortable. Just chilling.
You can see this for yourself by getting a lightning shield and backtracking into this part of the stage.
I knew it was coming.
Have you ever wanted to make Lava Reef Zone Act 1 impossible to beat? No? Well, too bad. Here's how you do it. First destroy this badnik to open the door, then backtrack to this star post and go into the bonus stage. Once you leave, the wall will be back with
football zombies are fast. How did faster to kick a ball for a long time? A gear zombie, makes the zombies fast? Yeah, I don't know. I don't exactly know, because it's a lot heavier.
But he doesn't.
Should be slower.
I don't really care. It's just points, but I don't like it when the game lies to me. Did you know that in Angel Island Zone Act 2, after this long tube section, there's actually an invisible platform you can land on off screen?
Oh yeah.
If you hold
this one, I knew about this when I was a kid.
Line yourself up with this tree, you can sometimes land on it. Not that there's really much to do up here, but I just thought it was kind of neat. You can even spin dash to get on top of the main level. Here's something kind of weird. You know Knuckles' theme? That short little drum beat loop? Well, at 34 seconds into the Knuckles theme, there's actually a short vocal sample. But the thing is, there's really a point in the game where you're going to be listening to the Knuckles theme for 34 seconds.
Yo, Michael Jackson made this soundtrack, by the way.
If you just wait around for long enough. But I always knew about
the Sonic 3 TAS? I might check it out later. Sonic 3 is a great game. Absolutely. It's my favorite out of the original 3. Sonic 3 and Knuckles.
In Sonic 3 alone, if you wait on the file select screen for about 47 minutes, one of the instruments gets much louder than it's supposed to.
I wouldn't actually say it, but you, sir, should not fall for such mind games. I know. I know. Trust me. It's a hard choice for me between 3 and Mania. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I only picked Knuckles because it has more stages. No, I want to play Pizza Tower. I'm not gonna react to it. I want to be surprised. I haven't seen anything about it yet.
The Japanese version drops the trademark symbol since they don't.
When you're planting down plants, we can't see us. We're invisible or something.
Well known in recent years, but
I want Pizza Tower to go on sale, and I'll buy it.
Special stage in the game data. Well, there's actually
looks good though.
8th special stage in both Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles, so there's 2 unused special stages in Sonic 3 and Knuckles. You can access them by using a little-known feature of debug.
Knuckles better than Sonic. I mean, that's like not the hottest of takes. There's a lot of Knuckles only, or like, you know, Knuckles over Sonic fans. I don't know what to pick. Both are cool.
And it changes this little number. 00 is for Sonic and Tails, 01 is for Sonic alone, 02 is for Tails, and 03 is for Knuckles. What would happen if you forced...
I don't know about that video. He's much cooler. Yeah, he's cooler. Sonic's faster.
Replay code, we can see there's no character that corresponds to this code, so
we're looking for like history of speedrun videos. We're looking for like, you know, trivia with good editing. Maybe some speedruns if they're short. We'll see though, I don't know.
If you're playing Sonic
06 better than Frontiers.
When the signpost is spinning back, you can catch a glimpse of blue Knuckles.
That would be a hot take for sure.
Sonic fans having a long history
I really like Frontiers.
Dumb names. It doesn't actually look like Blue Knuckles has a special name. He's just called Blue Knuckles by everyone.
Blue Knuckles, okay.
He actually does have a name.
That is kind of cursed.
He looks kind of cool in his super form.
Does it look like Knuckles needed power to be fast? Nah, he can just punch real hard.
Speaking of weird things happening,
which is good.
After reverting from a super form, if you were to revert back to normal Sonic after going super hyper, then the next time you get 50 rings to transform, Sonic's palette will briefly glitch out. A number of
he turned like green for a second.
With Sonic and are therefore affected when he goes super. It's most noticeable with
What's up, Anime? How you doing?
Did you notice that
is this debug mode? I think it was, yeah. I think it was Jaru.
Therefore flash when he's super? Well, now you know. Another weird little thing that hardly anyone will notice is that when you're leaving the slot machine...
I'm doing good, that's good. I'm doing well too, I just woke up. Didn't stop streaming at all. I just kept streaming a loop of Plants vs. Zombies, and it worked. Zombies are dumb, but they have giants and the Zomboni has a lawnmower. Yeah, how did they get on that lawnmower? Zombies are too smart in that game. It might be I don't think it's a prototype. It could be though. Knuckles could pull up with the blicky in the hood. I can imagine that. Oh no.
Also, pulling off this little
no.
There we go.
Later on, so you have to wait for a time over. You ever wonder what would happen if you beat Super Mecha Sonic as Sonic? Using debug mode, you can see characters at levels they aren't normally able to
debug mode is fun to use, I agree.
The level isn't beatable. Well, this is what
oh yeah, I need to make a poll. I need to make a poll, guys. Give me a second.
Now check out what happens if we do it as Tails. You can also take Knuckles into Sonic's version of Sky Sanctuary for some classic Knuckles and Knuckles action. And if you want to see some really screwy palettes, try beating Doomsday Zone as Knuckles. In Sandopolis Zone,
I gotta use some emojis.
Stand on one of these moving spiky pillars with an invincibility monitor, then when it wears off, you'll continue standing on it without getting harmed. You can even walk around on it. Something you might already know.
The pull is important.
In addition to pushing these blocks regular style, you can actually push them with the spin dash. Nothing that special, except you can actually push them up the sandy slides with this technique. And when you reach the top, you'll switch to the pushing sprite, but in the wrong direction. Great stuff. This is the type of high-quality content you're here to see. Let me take a moment to talk about the little animals in the classic Sonic games. In the first game, there were 7 different types of animals that could come out of Badniks. Pocky, Cucky, Pecky,
What?
Picky, Flicky, and Ricky. Then Sonic 2 added
There we
these
go.
5 dudes.
This is a fancy pull.
Walkie, Mickey, Walkie,
On my way to
Pocky,
create
and
my
Becky.
vile imagined scenario. Wait a minute.
These new animals.
When you have finished a round, you have a new plant you could use. Yeah.
But for whatever reason,
It's
they
kinda
decided
awesome.
to cut the fucking pig from the game.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
This happened because he was sort of accidentally cut from Sonic 2 as well. I mean, he's technically in the
Easy
game
on the
data,
language,
but
Cybershell.
he's programmed to appear in his Death Egg zone, which has
Ricky
no
Roly.
backlinks, so you're literally never gonna see him in the course of regular play. What a poor, pathetic little useless piggy. Literally cut from Sonic 3. How embarrassing.
I vote the
Here's a
Chiefs
random
win. Me too. I hope the
inconsistency I
Chiefs
don't know if
win.
you've ever noticed. In Sonic 3,
I hate
Knuckles,
Philadelphia.
when fighting a wall, Knuckles reverts to this pose
Being
whenever
from
you're not moving.
Pittsburgh, I'm
But in
just
Knuckles and Sonic
hardwired
2,
to
when Sonic
hate
just stays
Philadelphia
on what the most
forever.
recent animation frame was.
Whoa,
Are you
whoa,
one of those
whoa.
people who wishes that Sonic
You
3
got too
still
much
used
dip
its
on your
Sonic 2
chip.
design?
I like
What if I told
that
you
saying.
that it still does, partially.
I wish I had
The animation
chips
for
and
using
dips.
the monkey bars and flying battery zone is clearly using a
I
modified
think I do,
Sonic
actually.
2 sprite.
Got some
It's hard
salsa.
to notice unless you're actually looking for it. Now that you've seen it, you'll never be able to unnotice it. You're
Dang.
welcome. Now let's talk about some interesting glitches that are only found in Sonic 3 alone. You're
Okay.
aware of the bonus stage, but let me tell you about the legendary Doyless stage.
The doyless stage. Let's go. Let's go.
Option won't work. This is because you need to choose the 6th two-player versus
Waffle House video.
stage.
Oh
This
yeah.
time
Dum
he
dum
doesn't know
dum.
where to put this, so he just
That's
loads the bonus
that
stage
sound
again, but
effect.
This time the title card is corrupted, so it reads Doyless stage, and it just keeps looping forever until you manually quit. And for some reason, this glitches out the level select screen.
the doyless stage,
Absolutely
boys.
Incredible stuff. Here's something super weird. In Sonic 3, Knuckles walking into the Blastoids in Hydra City Zone hurts you, as is to be expected.
Okay,
However, in Sonic
okay.
3 alone, you can simply walk into them and they'll explode. Here's
That's
one that's actually
weird.
Pretty well known.
I never knew that.
Hydra City mini boss. It plays the action
Sometimes the
boss
zombies,
music
it's hard to
for some
beat.
reason.
When you get around the
If you
plant
allow
that can
yourself
kill
to
the
start
zombie.
drowning, then when you jump out of
True.
the water, it'll start playing the Sonic and Knuckles
Like the
mini boss
cactus.
music
Takes
instead.
out the balloons.
So this boss fight can potentially play 2 different songs, neither of which is the correct one. Normally when in super form you don't have access to your shield abilities, but in Sonic 3 if you're super and have the water shield, then holding the jump button when you hit the ground lets you actually bounce.
Huh?
It's a really cool glitch and I wish it wasn't fixed for Sonic
That's
3
like-
and Knuckles. At the end of Marble
It's like the
Garden
drop
Zone
dash.
1, instead of running over
He
and walking
stomps them to
straight
death.
for the boss fight, you can actually use the second controller to have Tails go destroy it off screen. Doing this will hard crash the game, so in Sonic 3 and Knuckles they actually fix this little glitch by forcing the camera to pan to the right if this happens.
Really? That's crazy.
It's one of the most infamous Sonic 3 alone glitches involves Tails in Ice Cap Zone.
That's a good
If you're playing as Tails, then when
glitch
you
fix,
reach the
too.
first slide area, you'll automatically die. This is because the vertical looping flag is actually set during Sonic's snowboard sequence and Tails skips that part, spawning at the bottom of the mountain. So is the stage unbeatable as Tails? Well, luckily there's an easy workaround. Touching the first checkpoint and dying to respawn the level, or simply entering the special stage and then leaving it will correctly set the looping flag, allowing you to continue.
That stage made me so mad. Everybody's like, I love Ice Cap Zone. But I don't love Ice Cap Zone all that much.
In the Ice Cap Zone and throughout the game, avoid having Tails get stuck in passageways or get caught in traps. Have Tails activate star posts or enter into a special stage as quickly as possible. This one's incredibly specific and also very hard to notice, but I still feel like including it anyways.
I want to see it.
Insta-shield animation finishes after you land on the ground, then you won't be able to use it on the next jump for some reason.
I think I've had that happen to me
Finally,
before.
now I can get to the part we've all been waiting
That
for.
sounds very
That's right,
familiar.
it's time for the McDonald's Happy Meal toy section.
Polybius
The most
existed on
memorable moment for me
1991.
was selected to be a Happy Meal for McDonald's.
I existed in 1991.
But this Happy Meal deal ended up being one of the main reasons the
Why are
game
there so many zombies? There's like a lot of them.
continues.
Did the end boss make them or something? I think so. I think he was in control of the zombie army.
The entire world, I remember feeling both happy and under pressure. Although Sonic 2
I had these toys, by the way.
sold, we had to complete Sonic 3 before that campaign, and with far greater numbers. As a result, we had to divide Sonic 3 into 2 parts, which we regret. Also, let the record show that according
I
to
remember
the Yuji
this.
Naka interview from 2004, it's canon that Sonic and his friends eat at McDonald's. So let's take a
Really?
look at all
Sonic eats at
5.
McDonald's.
Yes, 5 Sonic toys that you could get with your Happy Meal.
My
Of course,
favorite
the main
was
4 that everybody knows about.
Robotnik. He was
Sonic comes
terrifying.
with a little launcher launcher, a wind-up Robotnik toy, a spinning Knuckles toy, and a
Brew?
flying Tails toy with a little pull string. I always thought it was kind of weird how
Look at Knuckles.
spun around in a cloud like he was a Tasmanian devil or something, but I didn't really care as a kid. I was just happy to have a Knuckles toy.
Demon dog roll toy.
Well known, designed specifically for children under 3. The only
I existed in 0000. What's up, Ninja?
Looking very closely at the
Here, let me spawn some stars.
Simply a yellow ball with Sonic on it. Nothing fancy, but it does technically count as the 5th toy of the set. And because hardly anybody bothered requesting this baby toy, it's by far the rarest. In America, the promotion ran from February 4th to March 3rd of 1994.
What happened to Knuckles?
The Tails toy was actually recalled due to
He
a
said-
problem with the pull string. So when the promotion came to Canada,
He was
instead of offering a
traumatized.
Tails toy, they simply offered a ball with Tails printed on it instead. This isn't quite as rare as the Sonic ball because you didn't have to specifically request it.
The Tails ball? What kind of toy is that? That's not even a toy.
The promotion ran from January 27th to February 24th in 1995 in the United Kingdom. It took so long they actually dropped the Sonic 3 branding and just marketed them as Sonic toys.
Yeah.
After that, they actually received a completely different, redesigned Tails toy. Instead of one that flies with a pull string, this one simply spun its tails.
That's dumb. The flying one was cooler. Tails just got sent flying. You might be a little behind on the stream.
Still pretty cool.
Jaru. Might want to refresh.
Makes reference to Flying Battery Zone multiple times, which must have seriously confused some kids who actually bothered to fill out
Hey, what's up, Real?
onto this disposable fast food bag. Later still, in June 1995, Japan finally received this.
Oh, you're good, Jaru.
Although
I think.
interestingly, they simply cut out the Tails toy altogether. And even
Yeah,
more
summon bomb
interesting
fall
is
for
that
my
the
brethren.
toy was redesigned to better match Eggman's design. These Japanese Eggman versions
Spawning
of the toy
more.
are very rare and highly sought after among collectors. It's not as well known, but the Sonic toy also received a very slight redesign, mostly noticeable around his eyes. Okay, enough beating around the bush. Let's finally talk about the Sonic 3 prototype.
All right, we're talking about the prototype version now.
2019 is the finale of Hidden Palace's Sonic Month. Once again, every true Sonic fan will get down on their hands and knees and offer their praise to the godly DRX, the absolute fucking hero of the Sonic prototype community, who has blessed us again, this time with the earliest prototype of Sonic 3 to ever be discovered. ROM header data suggests this build is from October, and there are a number of interesting features and changes. Again, this won't be a complete list of every single difference, just a lot of the ones that I found.
Why at the end of the round there's a flag zombie, and why do they want to do that every time?
Runs across the screen and then it cuts to
Dude, wait a minute. Sonic EXE really did run across. Look at that. That is Sonic EXE, bro. Look at this. Look at that. That is Sonic EXE. That's him. In the prototype. Watch your jet.
The title screen uses an incomplete looking render and is not animated at all. Pressing start takes you directly to the level select, but you can press up, up, down, down, up, up to enable
The first
debug
encounter.
mode.
It's canon, boys.
To activate debug mode for some reason.
Sonic
You can also
EXE's
do it by playing the
canon.
Tracks 1, 3, 5, and 7.
I know, Jaru. But it's funny. It's funny to pretend.
Still uses the Sonic
This is Origin.
although he
This
still
is
uses
his
plenty of
origin.
unique
Yes.
animations for a lot of the stage-specific gimmicks. When that happens, you'll just continue using whatever is
The Sonic 3 prototype, it was only a few years ago that got released.
Pose, which looks pretty funny. There are a few new sprites which look kind of weird, like when Tails is carrying Sonic. Also, the shading on the HUD looks different from the final version. If you wait on the title screen, you can actually view a sort of
Dang, that got
version of
corrupted.
the surfboard intro, which is pretty radical. Interestingly, it seems
That
like they
animation
already
kinda
decided to scrap this
Throws me off a
intro.
little bit. Gives me the
Using some
hibbly
pro-action
jiblies.
replay codes, you can enable an early version of the tornado cutscene instead. And this
What's
leads
with
to one
the
of most noticeable
with the
differences in the
flicky
game.
character?
This fucking Knuckles sprite.
Whoa!
Just look at it. He looks so weird.
Watch
He's
your
on a
jet.
completely different style. He does this little hand gesture and then runs away at 1,000,000 miles per hour. I mean, honestly, this sprite
Sonic
doesn't
said
look that
"whoa" on the
bad.
windscreen.
So used to seeing the regular Knuckles
I think
sprite
every
that it just seems
time, every
weird to
round,
me.
the end boss is
If
making a
that
mega
wasn't strange
suit.
enough, this
Oh yeah,
version
that could be a
is the only part of
thing.
the beta that uses this
I'll be
sprite.
back. I gotta go to
The rest of the
class.
script
All right,
is
ice cream. No
all
no
so it
worries.
seems like they decided to move away from this style early on. So there are a number of
Stay
elements of this
hydrated,
game that
guys.
are unfinished. When playing the game, you'll notice that there are no giant rings, even though all the hidden spots that are going to be placed are included. Similarly,
Hey.
you get the stars to appear around a checkpoint if you have enough rings, but no matter how many times you jump, nothing will happen. Elemental shields are
Yo,
in
we're
the
at
game,
9
but
likes,
don't have
guys. We're at
special
9
properties
likes.
yet. They function just like regular shields. The graphics
Can
also
we
aren't
get to
rendered
10
properly.
likes?
The invincibility
I think we
sparkles
can,
don't display
easily.
correctly, rendering as broken game over letters or parts of whatever shield you had most recently. It's hard to put this
I'm
into
back,
words, but the
and
game
by
just
golly, you're still
feels
streaming.
janky
Yes,
as hell.
Tina, what's up?
You kinda need to play it for yourself to really
How you
understand
doing?
what I mean. The collision is worse, like it's much more common to clip in a wall.
I kind of want to make a 24-hour streaming channel again.
Driver isn't finished yet, so sometimes sound effects just bug out and keep playing for way longer than they're supposed to. Also, collecting a 1-up causes
Might do it. I don't know. We'll see.
Some sound effects are just wrong, like the spin dash, and a lot of bosses have no
How's the
audio at
Hogwarts
all.
going?
Honestly, I'll do you a favor and spare you, but if you want to punish your ears, try playing this beta. Let's talk about the other playable character, Tails. You can play as different characters in this build.
Let's
by
cut on
doing
with
different buttons
Tails.
in the title
What the
screen.
fox doing?
His flight ability is implemented, but it's still incomplete. For starters, he never gets tired, and his momentum is still a work in progress. He can also fly underwater instead of swimming for some reason.
That's
which means he
weird.
can carry Sonic underwater,
Flying
which is handy.
underwater?
However, if Tails gets
Look at
hit
that
while he's
Sonic
carrying,
animation when he's
stuck with him in the
flying.
air. Also, AI Tails refuses to enter the water when he's
4 hours in
joined
and
again, like
addicted
in
to
Sonic
it.
2.
Nice.
Super Sonic still exists in this beta, however, as there's no way to obtain the Chaos Emeralds, the only way you can access him is
That's
by
cool.
using an S monitor placed in debug mode. There's nothing too special about his appearance, it's still just using the Sonic 2
Debug mode
sprite.
was such a good thing,
I still
guys.
haven't mentioned the most interesting part yet. Sonic doesn't have his Insta-Shield in this build. He actually has a different ability. This beta of Sonic 3 actually has a drop dash mechanic.
That's
The
sick.
same move that would appear 23 years later.
Nobody
in
knew
Sonic
about this
Mania.
until, like,
Well,
after
it's not
Sonic Mania
exactly the
released.
same. Instead of holding the jump button, you need to hold up. And it's a little finicky, it doesn't seem to work on every surface. According to Christian Whitehead, this was just an uncanny
Why is there fog on the Plants vs. Zombies map? I don't like
And
the
as if that wasn't
fog.
interesting enough, there are some additional
It's no
unused
good.
abilities in the game data which can be re-enabled using some pro action replay codes.
Yo,
The
Game
first is
Shark.
Air dash ability, which can be activated with this code.
Air
This is a
Dash
pretty
in
fun
Sonic
ability to
3?
mess around with, although it's quite similar to the one they ended up using for Hypersonic in the final game. You can tell this is still a work in progress because it's super easy to make the camera totally freak out when using it. The second cut ability is much more interesting and unlike anything in the final game. Using these codes,
That's
you can
crazy.
access the
Sonic
ability
has a
to
ranged
fire
attack.
ring in the direction Sonic is facing by pressing B in the air. It even causes Sonic to uncurl and fly backwards a bit. The ring will destroy badniks and it even damages bosses.
Did you guys
Curiously,
know
you can
this?
also
This is
use
crazy.
thrown ring to collect rings too. If you press the C button, you'll actually shoot out 2 rings instead. This move doesn't actually cost any rings. You can even use it while you have 0. It's so weird to use, but it's actually kind of fun once you get the hang of it. The idea of a projectile
That's crazy.
character is really interesting. Alright, let's briefly touch on some of the differences in the
I agree, they
levels
should
of
make Sonic
Angel
Mania
Island.
2 with a projectile
So when you look
character.
at the level, you start standing in front of this weird-looking Knuckles. I still can't get over how fast he
Knock
takes
knock,
off
it's
here.
Knuckles.
Although the funny thing is, there's no invisible wall or anything, so you can just walk past him when the level starts if you want, which causes him to glitch out. In fact, you can even walk left and die at the start of the stage, which is
What?
awesome. Interestingly, Tails does not spawn with you when the level
Pretty
starts.
funny.
In fact, early on, there's this scripted sequence where Tails flies down and you can jump into his arms and he'll carry you to the upper route. When he reaches his destination, he just sort of floats there in the air, waiting for you to jump down. A bit later on, he'll spawn normally and start following you. As someone who's played Sonic 3 a million times, it's incredibly jarring how the level layout is similar but slightly different. A hidden area near the start is missing, and so is one of the loops before the tree. There are
That
quite
would
a
be
few
cursed.
differences in the layout. A lot of the object
Honestly.
placements are totally different too. There's even a Robotnik monitor in the first level. There's also this weird falling log section that's much more extensive than in the final game.
I need to
That's
check
why
out this
while buying
beta.
Tails will crash the game, although in some emulators it just causes severe graphical glitches.
I could build a
Boss, you
diamond
shoot
suit.
fire
I guess he wasn't that
early
rich
on in the level.
yet, Scott.
A lot of the boss behavior in this beta
Is he in
not
Plants vs.
finalized
Zombies
yet.
2?
Also, if you jump when the bridge is
Should I
destroyed like always
post
do, you still get sent
Knuckles
to
with the
Hydra City
blicky
Zone right away.
on the
What a
PBA
rip-off.
subreddit? Yes, please.
The striking
Yes.
difference in Hydra City Zone is that the background for
I'll be
Act 1 is
waiting
totally
for it.
different with a distinctive layer of green vegetation. Interestingly, this layer of green is still present
I'll be
in the
waiting
level
for
select
that.
icon in the final version. Unlike Angel Island, the level layout is actually the same as the final version, but the object placement is different, which actually changes the level more than you'd think. You can't destroy Blastoids by walking into them in this build, unfortunately. And in fact, when you do kill them,
Okay.
you bounce backwards with great force, which was very disorienting. The mini-boss is using the wrong underwater palette, and there's not an act transition after beating it, meaning you have to quit out and load Act 2 from the level select.
Polybiusarcadia.
It's not actually used in the stage, it's only found in the game data, but there's this weird little version of the Turbo Spiker. Maybe this fly bastard wasn't going to be the only Hydra.
Knuckles with the blicky. I'm gonna post this.
Uses a different brick design during the wall.
I'll put it on my community post.
Any sort of sound effects.
Dang, his shoes are gigantic. Hold on, let me
and then running through the wall. It's quite silly.
Let me post this on the screen.
There's no level transition after the boss. Once you open the castle,
dang.
you're stuck and you have to the next zone. Like Hydra City Zone, the level layout for Marble Garden is
you could like chill here for a little bit, I reckon.
You also start the level running down the slope, not falling like in the final version. In this version, Tails can influence the spinning top, which can be an absolute nightmare. Also, the spinning
that's
top
crazy.
don't despawn
But yes, this is Knuckles with the blicky.
Really There's also this little spot in Act 2 where
man got Tim's on, yeah.
The Act 2 boss is really glitchy, and you just die at the start when the ground is destroyed. It's a huge pain in the ass to try and fight him in this build.
This is high quality stream activity right here.
The song from the PC version. Before this
oh, the PC version song was bad on the PC, but
released to avoid the Michael Jackson licensing issues, but they were actually the original.
On the Genesis, they were pretty good.
I always thought they kind of sounded like shit on PC, but
that's true, they did.
They actually sound way better. Take a listen.
Black Air Force activity. It is done. Yeah, that sounds way better. But yeah, that Knuckles, I gotta post that on the community tab. It's funny. Yeah, that sounds so much better on the Genesis. When you get a zombie's head off, it goes in the same way somehow. Okay, let me see here. Image. Downloads.
Still not as good as the final versions, though. Touching one of these spinning things as Tails will crash the game, probably because it's trying to load sprites that don't exist yet. The Act 1 boss arena has no walls, making it extremely easy to kill yourself if you go in at top speed. There's also, once again, no way to get to Act 2 without going back to the level select screen. The underwater palette is incorrect, although it does look kind of cool.
For some reason, it doesn't autofill your name. It
doesn't appear in Act 2 at all, which is weird because you just go through the level normally with no blackout
there we go.
Section. At the end of the act, you just fall down into his area with the teleporter. You have to use Tails or debug mode to
posted
the boss arena.
Knuckles with the blicky.
At the end of this zone. Next up is, of course, Flying Battery Zone. This zone
they put these on Origins, which I'm a little upset about. Yeah, the songs. I agree. They should have had the option to switch in the old songs with the original songs, or the the Michael Jackson version. In a line of 3 useless internet questions, what ethnicity would Tails be IRL? He seems like a really nerdy white kid.
The Act 1 boss is present
like that's probably what I think. I don't know. That's what I'm saying.
Boss fight, you can find a fully functioning hangmobile. Once again, there's no act transition. Ice Cap Zone's not too really.
That's my guess.
The layout is nearly identical to the final. It's just the object layout that's different. The main difference is again the music. Sonic starts the level by running down the mountain instead of the snowboarding sequence. It's extremely easy to go way too fast and outrun the camera or even clip through the ground. There's also no water in Act 2, even though the platform still functions.
No water?
And the daytime palette is used for
I need to get the Vine Boom sound effect.
Act 2.
Maybe I should do that, guys. Maybe I should.
Doesn't work once again. Launch Base actually uses a different color palette with a pink sky and dark green Death Egg. This palette is also seen in the final game save icon, which is kind of cool.
All right, let me download that.
This aesthetic, even though I do understand why they changed it for the final version. After the Knuckles encounter in Act 1, the game doesn't allow you to continue, but you can use Tails to get
Downloaded.
boss, which has a weird gimmick where you can fall down a hole.
They have some bizarre labyrinth of files that I can't even remember where anything's at anymore.
The first boss at the end of Act 2 dies in one hit, probably for testing reasons. Knuckles is also standing on top of this weird thing instead of his usual platform.
Here we go.
And after this Knuckles encounter, the level just sort of stops.
Every day of school, the adults are ready to teach the kids. Do the adults, they chat or something like that. We should teach them this or that. Hey, teacher, leave them kids alone.
Like Mushroom Valley and Sandopolis cannot be loaded, and they unfortunately lack a lot of important data. If you try to load into Mushroom Valley, you just die instantly.
The words of Pink Floyd.
There's an object layout present, and an early version of the mini-boss in the game data. There's also some unused data.
There we go. Vine Boom has been added to the Stream Deck. Not the Steam Deck.
Unfortunately, it's the same case for Sandopolis. It's basically identical to trying to access it on the final version of Sonic 3, just unplayable garbage data. There is an early version of the Act 1 boss in the game data, which can be spawned through a little editing. Lava Reef is also one of those nothing stages that's
Let's
super
go.
glitchy if you try to force load into it. But by some
Thanks for hanging out with me today, by the way, guys.
Lava Reef data from an earlier build buried at the end of
I quite like the idea of a, you know, non-stop stream, and I just come online, or I just come on the mic whenever I'm here. But I gotta figure out some way to do it better.
The layout is slightly different, but the most noticeable difference is how the level uses
AKA, I might need a new laptop.
Lava doesn't hurt the player yet, and the death egg in the background looks different. There's also no boss at the end. Now onto the bonus stages. Unfortunately, none of them are complete. If you try to load into any of them, you just fall down and die. The Gumball one doesn't even have any defined spheres.
Which,
they're all just gray.
It'll be expensive.
The Glowing Spheres game is similarly incomplete.
That looks like Master Hand in a way.
The final game. The slot machine stage has the correct background, but it's not animated.
Slot machine's broken, boys.
It's basically been designed, it's just not functional yet. In the game data, you can actually find slightly different versions of the slot machine icons. They're actually a little more detailed than the final versions, which had to be changed.
Next year is my last year for high school. Let's go, ICS. You're almost there.
Actually still just in the tech demo stage.
Something happened to the stream when I went to sleep. No, it was up. I just moved it over to this new one, so the previous one would archive.
You can control the movement of the spheres with the controllers, which is pretty cool. Special Stage 2 features a bunch of red spheres laid out in a grid formation, which forms a pseudo 3D effect that you can also with using the controllers.
Cinnamon, wait.
Right,
since a bagel is a piece of bread, exactly like a donut, but without a hole, is the donut the hole or the bread?
I look forward to all the memes asking me about a Sonic 4 video, which I promise you will never happen. Once again, I'd like to give a special thanks to these awesome people and websites. Check the description.
Is the donut the hole or the bread?
Super special thanks to my wonderful patrons.
I would say it is the bread for no real particular reason. Alright. That was a good video. I'm going to clip that up. I'm going to chop it up real quick, guys. So,